busy on developing something for myself. What's going to happen if somebody called me for a show and then they cancel me? What happens if we get another COVID shutdown and all the shows get canceled again? I mean, we're all looking for WrestleMania and all that. What if all that gets shut down again? Now what Tony going to do? Well, see, Dad got pissed off because he had a lot of stuff planned for me. I understand that. So, you know, it's two sides to every story. You know, he was hoping that he could get more out of me. And I was thinking, I don't want to die in Melrose.
Well, his, so we'll be fair there. Nah, fuck that. Damn Marati. So
go on.
I thought they were fine.
He has potty mouth, by the way.
He does have potty mouth.
We haven't said one four-letter thing involving this creature of foulness. Not one four-letter thing.
So
you're clean. Potty mouth.
Marati was on his show talking about the Marty thing with the whole, you know, Marty's got all these problems, but I'm a friend of his. You know, Marty needs to go to rehab, and he's a danger to people. And I'm not using exact words, so if anyone's out there that's trolling this
I love you, but you're an absolute fuck-up.
Right, pretty much, right?
Okay, there we go.
You know, or I really don't love you. In fact, I love the fact that you're a fuck-up because then I can make money off of you. But then when you kind of call me out on a video, which is, from what I understand, happened. I never saw the video.
Right.
I'm going to pull it down so no one has it.
And
So Marty has his points, right?
Right.
He knows I'm hurting. Why would he push it today? Because I figured, okay, maybe we're just going to do 4 tomorrow. You know, but I was just thinking that's kind of a little bit, you know, because I'm hurting.
Fraud!
All right, welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Nefaro, produced out of Indie Music TV, here out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. This is a special Saturday show, and it's the Saturday show that everybody's been waiting for.
Everybody?
And I can promise you, I will promise everybody out there, there will be no stone unturned. Period. But before we get to that, at the board, it's our super producer, king of all producers, otherwise known as Matthew Ice. Matthew, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing very hot.
It's hot, right? It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. I just wanted to think, as a younger man, we had Missy Hyatt in, and Missy's a little older than us.
Yeah.
Who you found very attractive.
Go on.
Who Farrell had some moments in the parking lot with.
Would you
we won't
stop
get
it?
into that.
Spreading rumors, you pig. Go on. Go
what are your
on.
thoughts on Missy Hyatt there, Matty Ice?
Well, I gotta say, the room also was a little bit hotter.
Whoa! Nice.
She made the young man rise, huh? She made the young man rise. Good,
It was
good man.
a very engaging interview, yeah.
Yeah, it was engaging, all right.
As long as the room didn't smell of bacala, we're good to go.
Smell of bacala?
To the right
What the
is the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Farrow. Jimmy, how are you, my friend?
Very, very good. Back once again. What is up?
The Missy Hyatt interview. Did you enjoy it?
Oh my God, that was like 100 out of a scale of 1 to 10. That was fantastic. She rules.
She
wow.
was fantastic,
Wow.
right? Beautiful lady.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Beautiful lady.
Those eyes. Those eyes.
If anyone knows, this is a special Saturday show. But before we get to our special guest, Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Yeah.
Probably one of the all-time greats.
Probably. Definitely. Most indubiously. There we go.
I don't even know what indubiously means.
I don't either, but I always laughed at it, so laugh at it. What? Next.
In news, for many of the U.S. veterans, the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban stirs feelings of confusion, disappointment, and anger. So if anyone doesn't know, we left Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And now the Taliban is taken back over. And for all these vets that put their lives up to defend for the last 20 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like a smack in the face. What are you thinking?
wow, we go from feeling all happy and stuff to just being absolutely disgusted. Very interesting. Gotta love Monty and the Pharaohs back and forth, but okay, fine. I think it's absolutely horrible. I also think the rest of the world should take a share in how could we do this? How could you do this? Where is our morals? Where is the rest of the world's morals too? The Taliban are legalized murderers. Sorry, they are. I feel real pain for the good people who live in Afghanistan who will never know or never be able to relate to how they live, or more importantly, how they're forced to live. And this is truly sad. It's only going to lead to worse things. And this is what happens when the responsible people in the world do one of these. What? What problem? I don't see a problem. Do you? You know what that leads to, folks? That leads to a lot of unnecessary blood and death and some of this "your God is better than my God" nonsense and everything else. So yeah, you asked, and I am. That is really truly sad for the U.S. veterans who gave their lives in Afghanistan over the years, for the people who are suffering over there. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I think it's horrendous, Mike. I think it's horrendous. That's my take.
Can't really say much more than that, my friend. Pretty well done.
Thank you.
So before we get to the star of the moment,
Yeah.
Mr. Tony Atlas, I know, Jimmy, you wanted to take the floor. I will set the table.
I'm taking the floor again?
Yes.
What am I, Fred Astaire? My feet are tired already. What?
I'm
Go.
gonna set the table for you.
Go.
You know, so everybody knows this back and forth between us and Boston Wrestling, which we will get into quite deeply.
Back and
But
forth.
we had
it's
a,
just
we had
more
a
like
show
fourth. I don't see any back. But go on.
We had a show recently that
Yeah.
was called "The Most Uninteresting Man in the World," starring John Cena
Yes, we did.
Sr. Right, Matt? John Cena Sr. And Boston Wrestling had a retort recently, which some of the fans had sent me
a retort?
A retort.
Wow.
Recently.
Fancy.
And I'm sure you saw it.
Oh, sure.
I saw it.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
And
How can I not see it?
And so you wanted to take the floor to have a message for Mr. John Cena
Senior.
Sr.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
I did see the video, the retort. That's killing me. I did see the video, and I wanted to say directly to John Cena Sr., you rock. You rock. I loved your response. I thought your response was well thought out and absolutely pinpoint. You are a class act. So, I mean, and you get us. You do get us. I can tell that John Cena Sr. gets us. And that's fantastic. You know, it's a shame that you're dealing with Captain Chisler, but I don't know what will go down the road for the two of you. But that's fine. If you're happy working with him, I respect that, because I respect you. Your retort was nothing but class, and I'm here to proclaim that I think John Cena Sr. rules.
So do you want to
And that's basically it. It was such a classy. Well, we're doing jokes, and he knew it. He knew. He's a good, smart man. He knows. What am I taking? Anything involving Marati, I take back nothing. Watch me take back nothing and then add some. Right. Okay? But after watching John Cena Sr. speak about us, bro, he got us. He gets what we're about. I thought he was awesome. He left an open door to talk to us someday and things like that. And he was even chastising the Boston Whale.
Yes, he was.
Who the F is going to... don't get me started until you want to get me started. Then we'll get me started.
Mr. John Cena Sr.
Yeah.
This is from Monty.
Ah.
And anytime you can contact me. We would love to have you on Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, where you'll be treated like a wrestling star.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say you're a wrestling star. I'm not going to go that far.
Well, he's had his moments.
Whatever.
He's had his moments.
But anyway, we would welcome you. But I will say this one thing.
What?
We'll
talk to him, too. We'll say hi and everything.
You can't be all that bad when you have a son like John Cena Jr., who spends the majority of time taking care of sick children.
That guy rocks.
Goes out of his way to help people.
Absolutely.
So, sir, with all due respect there, you can't be all that bad if your child is John Cena Jr.
Salute.
So salute to you. Amen. With that, I want to thank the band that sings the theme song for Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and Farrow. That would be Wisteria Hall.
Oh, that'd be me.
Our own Jimmy Farrow, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as "In My Dreams," "This Life," "Not Far Behind."
Wow!
And "Here Comes the Rain."
That must be very
can find
catchy.
their music on the Wisteria YouTube page, Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Give them a thumbs up and a like.
Yeah,
they could certainly need it. Great band. Hear them on Spotify. Download their music off of iTunes and, well, what is it? Apple Music.
Is that what it is?
That up.
Oh,
and also download their music out of Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
If you didn't know it, you are watching Monty and Farrow, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. If you don't mind, give us a thumbs up and a like if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch, please do the same. And if you're on Facebook Live, please do the same.
You tell him, Ollie.
You can catch us on the Monty and Farrow YouTube page, the Monty and Farrow Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Monty and Farrow Twitch TV page, and channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 7:30 if you're lucky enough to live in New York.
Yeah.
And for early risers on channel 115, 6 a.m. to 6:30, where you will get the condensed version of Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Boston on his mind. And also for the late night dwellers from 2 a.m. to 2:30 on Channel 20.
That used to be
I know you all been waiting, so we'll get right back to Mr. USA, Hall of Famer. Overall, great guy. A hero to many. A great a great husband. This man I have the utmost respect for. He's in studio right now. No stone will be unturned once we come back.
We shall return.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
Welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and Farrow, usually seen here only on Thursdays from 9 to 10 p.m., but this is a special Saturday show.
Special.
And this show means so much to me because this is when I get that harpoon and I get in my boat and I swing it at that big, fat whale from Boston. But I got a little help, man.
Got a little help?
I've got Captain Ahab to my right.
Arr, Bigora.
And then I got the man with the big gun sitting on the couch. By the way, before we get to
the big
Mr.
man
USA,
sitting on the couch.
The big man sitting on
those
the
aren't
couch.
guns, those are cannons.
M21. See, M21, I'm going to tell you what, there is nothing anyone could say. We don't hide any kind of comments. We are going to read them all. So Farrow, M21 said, I thought you guys said 2 weeks ago he was the most uninteresting man in the world. Now you guys want to be his friend. What does that mean?
Thou'st have no forgiveness in thy heart. Shame on thee. That's what I say. Next!
Mr. USA, Tony Atlas in the house, brother. Thank you for joining us, baby. Woo!
Thank you.
What is up, USA?
Oh, my God.
What is up?
What an honor. Again.
Yeah.
To have someone with your credibility
Come
to
on
be
now.
sitting on this show right now.
Come on
And
now.
You know that's from the heart, brother. Thank you for taking your time out to join us on a Saturday, nevertheless.
Yeah.
Well, I was sitting here listening to you guys talk, and I asked myself, who the hell are they talking about? but I thank you guys, and I want to say to the people that Monty and the Farrell is a great organization, and I feel proud to be here with you guys. You see, Monty and the Farrell, to me, you guys are my friend. I mean, Marty treat me like I'm part of his family. You know, he takes me out, feed me. Ain't nothing that man wouldn't do for anybody. I mean, y'all are great humanitarian. You know, you're great people. You're just good people, and y'all do something that a lot of people that never took a bump a day in their life do for us wrestlers. Y'all show us respect. I've been on a lot of talk shows, and they try to get me to badmouth other wrestlers. Now, how can I badmouth a guy that traveled thousands of miles up and down this highway with me, neglect their family for this business, share their blood, go in the ring injured, go through hell and high water to entertain the people, and then some people want me to trash them. And the people that want me to trash them never been in the ring, never sacrificed anything for this business. They're like leeches. They grab onto a wrestler and they suck the life out of him. And then when that wrestler is no longer useful to them, they throw him away like a bad habit. Marty and the Pharaoh, y'all show us the utmost respect. When I'm on this show, hey, I feel important. I've been on other broadcasts, you know, and I felt like they act like I need them more than they need me. You guys, y'all put everybody on pedestal, and for all the wrestlers in the world, myself, most definite, thank you. For the great work y'all do for us guys. Thank you. I have said that on other programs. Then later on, I wish I hadn't said it. Because then the person that I thought was the way they were turned out not to be what I thought they. I would you call a slow learner. I am. Always been like that. I always, you know, I'm a little thick-headed. My mother say a hard head make a soft behind. So I've always been a little thick-headed with things. And people tell me stuff all the time. They tell me stuff all the time. I don't listen. Then finally, something will happen out of nowhere that bring me back to reality. And then what I normally do when I find out that the person is not what I expect them to be. Now it may take me a year, it may take me 2, but eventually I will turn out. Like, give you a quick example. Chief J Strongboat, I used to do things. I used to fight for other wrestlers. I used to fight for them, and they got in trouble or they get ready to lose a job. I go to Vince and raise hell with Vince. Chief J Strongboat said, Tony, the only friend you got in this building right now is the guy that signed your checks. If their name ain't on your check, they want you to screw up so they can take your place. They don't want you here. They want you gone.
Right.
Oh, no. They my friend. They my friend. The only friend I had in the WWF when I first went there was Vince McMahon. I turned against Vince for guys, and then later on, when the shit hit the fan, them guys would go to Vince. Yeah, Vince, you did the right thing. I told you them guys were no good. I told these guys were no good. In Puerto Rico, Bruiser Brody fought for guys, sacrificed for guys, did stuff to help guys' career. When he got stabbed in the dressing room, all the guys that Brody put his neck on the line for, they wasn't there for Brody. So the Bruiser Brody incident, every time I think about it, I say to myself, I got a utmost respect for Bruiser Brody. I love his wife and his family, Barbara Goodish. But then I learned something from that. Sometimes it takes Tony Atlas a while to know people. And I had people, a lot of people to walk over on me, you know. And I fell for it. I'll be driving back home, I'm thinking about it, I say, why did I let myself do this? You know, then I turn around and I do it again. The first time I did cocaine, I woke up the next morning, I felt like a train ran me over. I said, I will never do it again. A week later, I'm doing it again.
So much for that.
I had dated girls that had cheated on me, stole my money, did stuff to me. I said, I would never be with that girl again. Old Tony, turn around and be with her again. Finally, after so much abuse, I say to myself, I'm not going to be with this girl no more. So, but you guys, I hope our relationship never ends, because as far as the wrestling broadcast promotion, you guys are the best. And I want to thank you guys. And I feel the honor and a privilege just to be here with you guys.
Well, thank you, Tony.
And plus, Marty fed me real good, too.
Wow, where did you take him? He's all bubbly and
Well,
stuff.
the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
He didn't take you to that White Castle nearby the place
Hey,
where
so
you stay?
you know
he
what's
don't
funny,
do
Tony?
that.
I don't want to, you know,
I mean, I get lobster and steak and calamari with him, brother. Come on, man.
I want to kind of
I'm
set.
sitting here drinking. Can I say it?
Yeah.
I'm drinking good fucking wine.
That's it, brother.
There we go.
And you know what? It's Bernie Sanders wine, because you know why? It's free.
There you go,
Man,
That's what I'm talking.
only
Good
shortcut,
fucking
Bernie.
Bernie Sanders.
I don't want. We kind of got this thing lined up.
Free.
We're going to get to the subject on hand, but I don't want to veer off. But I just want to. There's this guy out there, J12. He's recently come aboard.
Okay.
And he's got a lot of things to say about us, about you.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
But the interesting question he does have, so we're just going to jump to this part of it, then we'll go back.
Okay.
Is, hey, Tony, where's your Facebook page? Very interesting question from J12, I think, right?
Well, I started my Facebook page right about February, and I started it because a lot of people wanted to ask me questions. They like doing the Q&A. I did a couple of Q&A on Facebook, and a lot of people like to collect my artwork, you know. So I started selling my prints and everything on Facebook. About 2 weeks ago, I go on my Facebook page, and they say that I can't use it no more. And I'm sitting there and go, well, what in the hell, why not? So they kicked me off of Facebook. But the funny thing about it, I get messages all the time of people that want to be a friend of mine on Facebook. I got 4,900 some, what do you call it, followers?
Yeah, friends. Facebook friends.
On
yeah.
Facebook. I can't communicate with none of them. Why, I don't know. It just happened just out of nowhere. So me and my friend Larry Huntley, he's a wrestling promoter up in now I'm computer illiterate, you know, you guys know that. So I'm always getting people to help me to do things until I learn how to do it myself.
Sure.
So Larry been helping me out a lot with my Facebook page, and so you know we sent in all the necessary information. So my 4,900 and some Facebook friends, I will appreciate it. I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't tell nobody what to do. I've never been that way. I would appreciate it if y'all would just contact Facebook and find out the reason why Tony Atlas cannot have a Facebook page.
Now, do you think it's a possibility because you decided, hey, instead of me using or having someone assist me with my artwork, I'm just going to sell it myself?
Yeah.
And someone took offense to that.
I don't know. I mean, they
This we don't have facts on, yes.
Yeah, they didn't give me any reason or nothing. They just, one day I just went on the Facebook because one guy told me that, he said, do you have a Facebook page? And I told him, yes. He said, I want to order some of your artwork. And I said, well, just go on my page and everything. And I said, I'll show you what I got. And I said, I get my buddy, because I don't have PayPal. I mean, I just started. I've never been on Facebook my whole life. Never. Never. I've never been on social media my whole freaking life.
Yeah.
Never. Always, the only time I'm on the internet is like with you guys or somebody else's program.
Right.
So, you know, the COVID virus hit and everything got shut down. So I'm sitting home and I got nothing to do. So I said, well, let me, for the first time in my life, I decided to go on Facebook.
See what this is all about.
Yeah,
Right.
because, you know, and I had a lot of friends tell me, Tony, you should be on Facebook. People love your stories. People love talking to you. You got so many stories. See, the difference between me and most wrestlers you're talking about, when you talk to Tony Atlas, you're not talking to Tony Atlas. You talking to Klondike Bill. You talking to Killer Kowalski. Because I started in pro wrestling in the 70s. So the people that trained me was from the 50s and 60s.
Correct.
So I got a 50, 60
Mentality.
mentality towards pro wrestling.
Sure.
So a lot of people, they like hearing that. It's like if you was raised up in the cowboy days, and you roll with Jesse James and Billy the Kid, you read about Jesse James, you read about Billy the Kid, but you never get a chance to talk to somebody that had actually rolled with Billy the Kid.
Of course.
So I could tell people stories what happened when wrestling was wrestling, when it was the territory days, when we drove from town to town, and when we chased the girls and drank and fought in bars before corporate America in the mid-'80s, 85 to the 90s, got started. Now, when most people talk about wrestling, they always talk about what happened from the 90s up. Well, when the 90s hit, I was pretty much blackballed in wrestling because I was like an old dinosaur. You know, Vince told me, Tony, the business has changed so much. In fact, I got in a fight with CM Punk, and I apologized to him because he was right and I was wrong. I went to Ohio Valley before Vince got his own wrestling school down in Florida. I went to Ohio Valley. I was doing a speech about what a wrestler should be. And CM Punk kept talking to the other guy, and I told him to shut his mouth. He said, Tony, what you said is great 20 years ago. That ain't the business no more. He said, this is the new business. Well, I told him, shut his mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. We almost got in a fight. So then I went back to the WWE, was no longer WWF or WWE, to manage Mark Henry in 2008. I didn't know where the hell I was at. When I used to go in the ring, they said, Tony, you're going to wrestle Ken Patero. You're going to go 15 minutes. We want Patero to win. That was it.
Right.
They didn't tell me how to do my match.
Right. Sure.
I went back to WWE. They give me a strip. They tell me how they want me to wrestle. When I did an interview, they would come to me in the 70s and say, Tony Atlas, we want you to do a promo. You got 30 seconds. You're going to wrestle against King Kong Bundy. That was it. That's all they told me. Now I get a strip. And I got to memorize every line on the strip. So I was not able to be Tony Atlas no more. You know, and
did you go back to CM Punk later on and be like, you know, bro, I know that seemed rough, but thanks for the heads up because you turned out to be right about it.
I told him, I said, I'm sorry, brother, you was right.
Interesting.
The guy that helped me the most when I went back was John Morrison.
Really?
John Morrison helped me a lot. And,
in what way? In what way?
He tried to educate me to how the new business is. You know, and he used to try to talk to me. He said, I'm not that good at reading. I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, I don't read too good.
You're really good at punching. But
and
go
I'm
on.
Not good, and I'm not good at reading and spelling.
He's great at drop kicks too.
Education-wise, I learned everything I learned in this business. I was not that good in school. The only reason I got through high school, the only reason, because I was a good athlete.
Okay.
So in the older days, you have to keep a C average.
Okay.
You know, in order to stay on the team.
Sure.
Well, because I was so good at what I did,
right.
Even if I failed a class, they give me a C.
Gotcha.
So I came out of school, you know, 30 or 40%. What's the word when you're not that educated? Illiterate.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not ashamed. I mean, it's a lot of illiterate Americans. I'm just one that will admit that I'm not the smartest guy in the world when it comes to reading and writing and all of that. And I'm a computer. Y'all guys know this. Mark Henry taught me how to use it. I never learned how to use a cell phone until 2010. Mark Henry taught me how to use a cell phone.
Right.
You know, there's a thing that was on YouTube when I first got into wrestling with me and Mark Henry. We traveling together. So I'm the co-pilot. So I said, Mark, we got to get a map. Where's your map? Mark.
It's not going to work.
Mark Henry is laughing.
Yeah.
What map? What do you need a map for?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Come and pull you over now. You're reading a map. You're distracted. Ticket.
Yeah, he said, I got a GPS. He said, I got a GPS.
Right.
I said, yeah, but you can't get to the town without a map. He said, I'll tell you what, Tony. He said, why you get a rent-a-car, you use your map, I use my GPS, and we see who get to the town first.
Yeah.
Well, we in an argument over a map and a GPS. I didn't know what the hell.
You are a slow learner.
Oh, well.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know what the hell a GPS was.
Were you all excited when you saw
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but Tony Smith out there saying, thank you, Mr. Atlas, for my Bruiser Brody custom artwork. Fan here from St. Louis. Thank you, brother.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, Bruiser Brody should not be forgotten. You know, he was murdered in the most brutal way that a man could be murdered. the way they murdered that man, they made friends with him first, ran him and dan him, and then they executed him. So Bruce Brody was more than just a murder, and he died with a picture of his son in his hand and his briefcase in the other hand.
Mm-hmm. Sad times.
By the man that drove him around the whole week he was there. Laughed and joked with him and everything, and then stabbed him to death. I mean, that was the most brutal thing that I ever seen in my life. But anyway, it takes me a while to learn things. Like when people do things to me, I got this thing about me. I say, forget about it. Guys said, man, I wouldn't take that shit. I'd kick his ass. I said, let it go, let it go, let it go. But, you know, there come a time where enough is enough.
Hells yeah.
You know,
Hells
and that's when I would step up. And then when I step up and stand up for myself, then I'm the bad guy.
Of course.
I used to wrestle against guys, and I'm the main event. I'm the main event. And the guy wrestling would get paid more than I got paid. I said, well, at least I'm making money. I overlooked it. Then I said, hey, I want the same money as that guy. I mean, if I'm a main eventer, he's a main eventer. Right. How come I'm getting paid less? Now I'm a bad guy. Because my problem is I wait too long. Once you accept something for year after year, you accept it.
You've cornered yourself.
You corner yourself. That's
Absolutely.
right. And then when you just can't take it no more, when it just like eating away at your soul.
How dare you suddenly realize that this is bullshit?
When you speak up for yourself.
So a lot of fans are out there saying they used to love you on the Boston Wrestling Channel.
Okay.
And they just
used to.
Well, hold on. Hold on. He's on every week, but that's all right.
We're friends.
In reruns.
In reruns.
You'd be a years ago. But hold on. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And then we're going to get into what happened with you and Boston Wrestling.
Okay.
We'll be right back. You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence. Collision Specialists. 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. That's right, folks. Canine Corral. For all your dog daycare and overnight care, call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. We've got Tony Atlas in studio, who we consider one of the greats of all time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the one humbling thing about doing the show is you get to meet some of these ladies and gentlemen. And the majority of them turn out to be such wonderful, wonderful human beings.
Can I get this in real fast?
Yes.
This show was created out of the love, the true love for pro wrestling, from two guys who grew up and have known each other for over 40 years, junior high. We genuinely loved it. We used to practice it in the backyard, and I can say with confidence that some of these guys who got supposed real training, you never would have survived what we did to each other on the hard ground in the wintertime in New York back in the day. But this show was based on the love of people like the man who's sitting to our right. Well, this was everything that we wanted to have in mind for these kinds of wrestlers. We are blessed.
I also want to say, Pharaoh, it's very humbling to have people watching this show.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Like the Maria Davises or like the Todd B. Crafts, right?
Oh my God!
That show the respect and they tune in every week.
Yeah.
And you know what? how many times I say how funny they are, and they make me laugh.
Our audience
but anyway,
is hilarious.
this whole thing has been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But unfortunately, and I'm going to make this
Why
clear.
does there always have to be an unfortunately?
So before I even go to
Here we go.
Before we even go to this, I want everybody to understand that we will question Mr. Atlas.
Okay.
He will answer.
Yes.
We will take a commercial break, and then all the fans out there, ask whatever you want to Mr. Atlas. He will not deny you the opportunity to challenge him on anything.
All right.
But allow us to ask these questions. And everybody, there will be other wrestling talk. But first,
Sure.
Tony, in life, you want it to be pleasurable to the best of your ability. But then sometimes it's this rat. It just gnaws at you and nibbles on you, right? And you're sitting on the floor, and it's just... This rat
Is it on your toe?
It's
like
nicking
your
at you.
big toe?
And you know, he says things and
More like flies, you know, keep swallowing.
like-
they
but
keep
no,
swapping
in a
the
portal
flies, keep
potty?
coming back.
a fly
In a
you
portal
swap
potty.
out. This is
And
a
the fly
this
comes
is
back.
a rat.
I know what you're talking
This is a
about,
rat.
yeah.
You know why it's a rat? Because rats steal. Right? Rats take.
Ooh.
They go behind your back. They do all this really stuff. And
Rat.
again, people don't know me per se, but like we've been invited to come to someone's studio.
Sure.
The dude doesn't want to meet me in person.
No.
It'll be ugly.
Yeah, good
Because
Lord.
I am an exterminator. But that's not the point.
Holy raid can, Batman.
Tony.
Next.
You started up with Boston Wrestling.
Okay.
Very entertaining show because of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
How does it start with Mr. Dan Marotti?
Well, I was home one day, and Dan gave me a phone call. And before I say this, I want all the fans to do one thing for me. I want them, not like I say, I don't know all about this technology stuff. I want the fan to get me on the Steve Walker show. You know what Steve does, right?
Shoot.
Yes.
Steve put you on that lie detector machine. Now, the guy that Steve got to do his lie detector, he's the best in the world.
Okay.
He worked for the FBI. He did all this stuff. Lie detector machine.
Right.
You know, 'cause I could say one thing today, somebody else, 'cause I don't have power on the internet. I'm silenced. I can't talk to people on the internet, my Facebook. The only time I could talk or defend myself is when nice people like you come along. So I want to be on the Steve Walker show. So contact Marty and the Pharaoh to get Tony Atlas on the Steve Walker show for everything that I'm going to tell y'all now. I want to do it on a live detector machine. That way we know who's lying and who's not lying. This is how it started. Dan called me one day, told me about the program he's trying to put together. He said, "What would it cost to get you down here?" And I said, "Dan, I'm going to try to give you the best deal I possible." I said, "I work for Steve Picard. It was Top Rope Wrestling."
Okay.
I said, "I charge you the same as I charge him." He said, "What did he pay you?" I said, "Give me $450." He go, "Well, can you do it for $200?" I said, "No, I can't do it for $200." He said, "Yeah, but," he said, "but this is the beginning of things. Things will get big, and we're gonna do good, and give me a whole bunch of stuff." My wife is sitting there going, the whole time. The whole time she's going, "Don't do that."
Okay.
So, Fred, I said, "Dan, can you at least give me $300?" "Well, I know I could do the $200. And my wife going, me being Tony, not too smart, I took the deal. But I said, "Look, I could do it when I got something, when I'm coming through your area." And I got people like MAJ could tell you the same thing.
Okay.
Johnny, I'm going to mess up his name. I call him Callahan, but then the other day he told me it's not Callahan, it's Callahurst.
Okay.
Now, Johnny helped me out a lot. Him and his wife Mary are wonderful people. So y'all want any million billions or autograph picture or anything? In fact, I'm going to drop by on the 27th of this month just to say hi to him. He just told me, "I set up something for you to make some money." I said, "Johnny, you don't have to do that." He said, "No, I want to do it for you." I said, "Johnny, you don't have to do that." You ask Johnny, I tell you the same thing. Johnny Callahan, I love him.
Evan
I had a
Collectibles.
little.
There you go.
I got drunk one day and hollered at his wife, and she got mad at me.
That's a surprise.
But Mary, Johnny, if Mary listens, Mary, I'm sorry that I pulled the ox baker on you, and it won't happen again. If I holler at you again, Mary, slap me. That's what my wife do. Monica would just backhand me when I get too rambunctious with her. But I was drunk at the skirt and hollered and hurt her feeling. And I felt bad about that. So I want to take this time first to say I'm sorry to Mary.
There you go.
And I'm going to go by there to 27 to apologize to Mary and to shake Johnny's hand and thank him for everything he ever did for me. He's a great person. John Callahurst of MAJ Collector Talk Game and But anyway, back to the story. You know how I do. I get all off into everything.
Come back.
But anyway,
Come back,
Tony. Anyway, if I had a show, like I live in Maine.
Yeah.
So if I'm driving to New York, that's a 360-mile trip.
Wow.
So I said, well, I got expenses. I got the rental car, I got gas, I got toll, people that travel, I got food. So if somebody offered me $500 in my head right off the bat, I estimate how much it's going to cost me to get there.
Sure.
So if it's going to cost me $200 to get there, somebody give me $500, then I know I'm going to make it $300. To me, automatic, that's not $500 to me. That's $300 because it will cost me $200 to get there. So I said I had to figure out a way of making my expense money. So I called Dan. I said, yeah, Dan, we could do it when I'm coming through your area.
Right.
But I don't know what happened. He wanted me to come down there when I didn't have nothing. Well, me being me, I did it a couple of times.
Which to defend
$200.
Okay. That
Now,
was your
here-
decision. You accepted that.
I accepted that.
That's right.
I made that decision. I'd accept it. But then it got to the point, the prices started going up. And I remember one trip, and I told Dan this. I told him many a times. Every time he paid me, I talked to him about it. He just smiled and walked away like I was a piece of shit. And I told him, I said, Dan, you know, it's cost me a lot more to do your show without something to go with it. So then one time I had to go to Pennsylvania. No, Atlantic City, New Jersey, from Mike Hamilton. He runs the showboat in New Jersey, Atlantic City in New Jersey.
Okay.
For me, it's a 6.5 to 7 hour drive. So I said, well, I go down, I do Boston wrestling. Then I stay in Boston, because that would take 2 hours. Cause it's a 2 hour drive from me to Melrose. It take me 2 hours of driving. So I said the next day I just got 5 hours to do. So I said, Dan, I come down and do your show. Can you get me a hotel room? Oh, sure, Tony, we get your hotel room. So I drive down. He get the hotel room for me. I went to get my $200. He gave me $55. And I said, what is this for? He said, it's the rest of your pay. He said, I had to deduct your room for your, I took the pay, out of the room. So I said, oh, forget about it. I'm on my way to Atlantic City. The guy in Atlantic City is going to pay me $1,200. Plus, I sell all the gimmicks I want. So I'm looking at, about a $1,500.
But you had just lost almost 3/4 of your intended pay.
Right. So I'm left with $50. But I got a hotel.
And how many hours do you shoot? How many hours do you shoot with Boston
we started
Wrestling?
shooting at 3 o'clock during the day, and we be finished at 9 o'clock. So it's about 6 hours of taping.
So you had to drive for hours to do 6 hours of taping and pay for your own room and get $50 basically,
yes.
$55.
And this is honest God truth.
Wow.
I wanna
How
be
generous.
Wow. If I could get on Steve Workout, I'm going to tell the same thing. My mother told me one thing. She said when you tell a lie, you have to tell another lie to cover that one up.
Sure.
Another lie to tell that one. And by the time you get through at the end, you don't know what lie you told.
Yeah.
But when you tell the truth, it comes out the same every time.
Of course.
Every time. Anyway, I got more story.
Go ahead.
Another time, I went down for Dan, and I was trying to help Dan. This was for him. Because I was running late. Because see, what I used to do, I work at a gym in the morning as a personal trainer. I go to the gym at 6 in the morning to train people. I train people from 6 in the morning until 12 o'clock. on the days I had to work for Boston Wrestling. I get off work at 12 o'clock. Go get the rent-a-car.
Okay.
Without stopping. And I'm up at 4 in the morning now.
But
so
of
I've been
course.
up since 4 because
Sure.
I got to have breakfast and everything. I'm
Sure.
at the gym from 6 until 12. Then I will go straight to the rent-a-car place, get a rent-a-car, and drive to Melrose. So I'm starving. I ain't eating up there since 4 o'clock in the morning.
And you've had a full day before noon.
Exactly.
Quite honestly.
I don't put in all them hours. So I
Right.
called Dan one day, and I said, Dan, to save you some time so that we could get started earlier, because you say you got a lot of things to do, so we could start early. I said, can you get one of them kids that work with you to go get me some chicken wings? He said, sure. So I get there. They have my chicken wing. You remember I just sat there eating the chicken wing? The reason I ain't ate them chicken wings that people don't know, I ain't ate all day. And there was no time between, from 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm running. I work a regular job. You know, I'm not rich. I'm a very poor man. So when I get there, Dan go to pay me. He give me $180. I said, Dan, you cut me $20. He said, well, I had to pay for them chicken wings. I didn't say nothing. I'm driving home. My wife is telling me, don't go there no more. He's taking advantage of it. My wife kept telling me that. She kept telling me
As
that.
a good wife
By the
would
way,
say.
my wife is in the hospital now with a stroke.
By the way, I want to
Oh,
ask you,
boy.
how is Monica
Sorry.
doing?
I talked to her about, right before you came to pick me up. She's all happy. She worried about me being in a car accident or something happened to me. She always worried about me. She loved me to death, and I love her the same way. She's the greatest woman in the world. So I get home that day. Then the virus hit. You know, there's other stories to go with that, but I'm just trying to make everything brief.
I want to make something clear here. We're going to get through the whole story. But your wife's ill.
Yes.
Everybody knows this.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, you know, when you work with someone for a while, do you think you build a friendship with that person?
You would think so.
Okay, but at this point, you're working with Marati. Did you consider him a friend?
Yes.
So,
Wait a
your
minute.
wife
Wait. Wait a second. He knows your wife is sick, and this is how he treats you? I
Yes.
just want to make sure I'm getting this clear before I completely fucking explode. But are you serious?
Well, I'm the type of guy.
I mean, what is that though? If he's your friend, then why would he possibly do something like that?
It was a way I was raised. I would go work for a guy. See, I was raised in the country.
can't.
See, y'all city slickers. I'm an old country boy from the hills of Virginia.
We're city slickers?
I would
Wow.
go
Interesting.
haul hay for a guy all day long. And at the end of the day, he gave me 4 dozen of eggs.
Right.
It was called horse trading
Right.
in the olden days.
Right.
So I'm used to doing a lot of work and getting a little
Right.
bit back.
I think you're right,
I'm-
Tone. 'cause
yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm not
because- yeah.
I'm not hauling hay, so I think
It's
I
the
am a
way-
city slicker. Thanks a lot.
Well,
Go on.
Well, it's the way I was raised.
Of course.
I got this way. As long as Klondike Bill, you tell me you have to take the big ones with the little ones.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I just overlook things. I just let it go. I don't let it interfere with my happiness. I like to be happy.
Tony, it sounds
You
like
know,
you trust people.
when you stop
That's
and
what
think
it
ab-
comes down to.
When you stop and think about it, I started in the 70s.
Right.
How many wrestlers are still active today
Not many.
that started in the 70s?
Right, not many.
So I feel fortunate. I feel proud to be an American. I just feel proud when I get something. Sometimes what I get makes me happy. Sometimes what I get, it never makes me sad. I never sad. I just get what's called disappointed. So when the virus hit, the studio closed in Boston. The studio closed. So Dan couldn't tape. So he asked me, he said, can we come to your house and tape? So he's going to drive from Melrose up to Maine.
He's like, hey, keep Boston wrestling, keep the wrestlers working, right? Keep them working.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Gotta keep them all working.
Keep working. So he drove up to Maine to meet me at my house. I said to myself, I said, boy, that's great. I said, for the first time, when did I first started with them? For the first time, I don't know when I started with Boston Riders, but I said for the first time in my life, Dan gonna pay me what he promised. because I got no expenses.
Okay.
This was going to be the first time. The
Right.
first time.
There's no gas. There's no hotel. There's
Nothing.
no food.
I'm going to get $200. For Dad, he got to give me $200. I don't have to pay for no rental car. I don't have to pay for no food. I got no expense. I can sit home and make my $200.
This is a slam dunk.
I was happy as a hog in slop.
Right.
Then he paid me.
Around.
Then he paid me $100. I said, whoa. I thought it was $200. I thought it was $200 for the taping.
Did he charge you for his gas to get there?
I don't. He took $100 out, and I asked him. Dan, no, I'm telling the truth. He know damn. I don't care what he tell them Boston wrestling fans.
Right.
He know. Damn well. I'm telling the freaking truth.
And at this point,
I have no reason to lie. I'm an old man.
Tony, I want to reiterate. During this time,
I'm telling the damn truth.
I want to reiterate.
Defend myself.
At this time, Monica is still in the hospital.
My wife is in the hospital. She's in the hospital, suffering with a stroke.
But you know what? I'm going to defend Dan here. I'm going to defend Dan.
Why?
I'm sorry, Tony. I'm going to have to.
Why? All right,
the guy's using his website, and he's selling your artwork.
Yeah, but he promised me $200.
Okay, but
he promised. Hey, a man is only as good as his word. What my mother taught me.
Imagine that.
Now let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. So he gives me $100 instead of the $200.
I can't believe this guy. Okay.
But being Tony, I said, well, at least I made $100. And this time he paid for my meal and the Corona beer that I was drinking. So I said, well, at least I got a free meal out of him.
And a beer.
And a
Corona beer.
And a beer.
For 6 hours.
It cost me $100.
Chicken wings and a beer, 6 hours.
6 hours.
Good pay.
That's great.
Good.
So finally, the studio opened back up. The studio opened back up.
Okay.
So I drove down. I couldn't get my deal with the rent-a-car no more. Rent-a-car went up. So the rent-a-car was $120 for the rent-a-car.
Right.
When I add up my expenses, now he's supposed to pay me $200.
Sure.
My expense was $275.
Oh, great. Nothing like losing money.
So now I'm paying out of my pocket. I'm spending money with my wife in the hospital.
Great.
No work.
Great.
Broke, living on Social Security. I'm a senior citizen, so I live off of Social Security. So then, now I spend $75. I'm paying to work to be on his program. I'm paying.
You're paying.
So I said, Dan, I can't keep doing it. He said, well, I can get you some more money. I said, well, how you going to do that? So he started soliciting me to do artwork for him.
So he's going to make it up to you. I'm going to get you artwork.
Right, get me the artwork. But what you don't understand, I still got to do the work.
Of course.
I mean, it ain't like I got a machine to run off artwork.
Right.
It takes me a week to do one of them artwork.
Of course.
It's a week.
That's your
So I
timetable.
work all week. Dan charged them $175. I get $100.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is my first time hearing that. You charge $175.
Right.
And Dan,
give me $100.
Percentage-wise,
he takes almost it's getting close to half.
Well, if Dan takes 75, you charge.
He's getting 100. He's taking close to half.
Dan's
reasonably
taking
close.
40% for what?
For getting me to work.
Oh, so he's getting you to work.
Right.
So it's a 40%.
Right. And so when I come down, instead of giving me, if I do 2 artwork, instead of giving me 200, he give me 400. If I do 1 artwork, he give me 300. He give me the 100. He said, see, I told you I make you more money. I said, that's okay. Then one Christmas, he come around with this paper. He want me to sign the letters. I said, what these letters for? He said, always it help you and wrestlers to make some money. He started soliciting money, had people to send in money to help me to pay my rent.
To pay your rent?
Yeah, to pay my mortgage.
Oh, okay.
I never saw a penny of it.
What?
Yeah, he would use me to solicit money from people. He pocketed the money.
Do you have any idea how much he accumulated?
No. One guy told me.
You know what that is?
Fraud. There was a buddy of mine that told me at a convention. He said, "Hey Tony, I see you was having problems with Dan trying to help you to get around." He said, "You got $400 or some dollars, in the that."
Hey, I donated to you, brother. I'm here to help you. Your wife's in the hospital, bro.
Yeah.
I donated to Boston
So I said,
Wrestling,
"Well,
$400.
I never seen none of that money. You know, where
You didn't see
what-
anything.
Not a freaking penny. So finally,
Wow.
I was talking to some people when when the corona hit, everything got canceled. So a buddy of mine named Larry Huntley, he said, Tony, you should get on Facebook.
Okay.
He said, you could sit home if you need to make, for what this guy pay you, you could make more money sitting home.
That's right.
So one day I kept brushing him off. Finally, I said, okay, let's do it. So I went out, bought me a little laptop, went to Verizon, got my Facebook account and everything. And me and old Larry Huntley, he runs wrestling. In fact, I'm wrestling for Larry Huntley at the Skowhegan Fair.
Okay.
And Larry started helping me. And he drive 50 miles. He lived 50 miles from me. But because me and Larry been friends from, back since the 90s, he drives up. And I tried to give him money for gas. He wouldn't take it. So what I do, I would buy him food and do what I can to help Larry and everything. And so we did a virtual sale. I did one virtual sale. Hell, I made $700.
Hello. Hello.
I gave Larry $100.
Maybe there's something to this Facebook.
I gave Larry $100, and the two people he brought with me, I gave everybody $100.
Okay.
I made $400. I didn't even have to leave my room. Took me 1 hour to do it.
Wow.
I said, shit.
Yeah, huh?
Going to Boston Wrestling, I make freaking $100 if I'm lucky, and it's a 10-hour day. See, it's 2 hours driving. 6 hours of taping,
of course,
and a 2-hour drive back.
Nice.
So the day for me, the day went from 1 to 11.
Right.
I leave my house at 1 o'clock. I get home at 11 o'clock.
Right.
Sometime 11:30, depending on the traffic.
Gotcha.
It was a full, it's an 11-hour day for me. So I said, I did it on January the 15th. I'm sitting there, I'm eating my chicken wing. Dan is doing a virtual now. Now he don't start doing virtual selling with my artwork and stuff. So I'm sitting there eating. I said, Dan, I'm getting me a computer. Yeah, Dan, you can watch his tape. If he got that tape, you can see it on tape. He got this tape. He's doing a virtual. I said, Dan, I'm getting my computer. I don't want to sell on your virtual. I'm going to be doing my own virtual. Ignore me. So then he called for the thing. I said, I'm not working for you no more. And that's what happened. Okay. Now I hear from people. Dan been texting me and emailing me. I mean, not email, but been texting me. I gave Marty one of them. I've been deleting them.
So Tony, I want to alert the fans out there. So when this went on, you and I, we spoke on the phone. Hey, what's up? You told me the story. I said, good for you. Do you end your relationship with him? Just do you. Take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's what you did.
Yeah.
That's right.
So J12 says out there, what's the end game for us?
For us?
So, hold on.
Okay. The end game?
So
this is not a game.
When you said, hey, yeah, cool, I'm just doing me, and you disappeared, you didn't bother with the guy, and he kept texting you.
I left him alone.
And then I didn't really know much about Boston Wrestling, and then all of a sudden I'd hear this guy talking trash about you. Now, I didn't like it. So we asked you to come on. Remember, you called in, and you were nothing but a professional. You didn't badmouth him, even though he claims we tried to bait him in.
I have no hard feelings with that. I just don't want to work for him no more. That's it.
So,
I want nothing to do with him. That's it.
Again.
Right.
This continues on.
Simple.
And then recently, something happened with Marty Jannetty.
Right.
And then you alerted to me other videos with Kamala talking about what and this.
Sure.
And I said, you know what? I'm not going. So I'm going to go back. I'm not going to sit here. I consider Jannetty a friend.
Sure.
I consider Mr. Atlas a friend.
Of course.
I'm not going to let this shit go on anymore. I will use this program to stop this nonsense. He could have just left you alone, and there's nothing would have gone on.
He won't do it.
But instead, he still talks about you.
7 months, brother. 7 months. Every other day, I get a threat. You know what he's threatening to do with me now? Take a guess.
What's he threatening to do?
He want to report me to the IRS so they stop. So he could so they stop sending. He want to take away my Social Security check.
Because he's mad that he can't underpay you and overwork you?
The only income I got is my Social Security check, and because I want work for Dan Morella, he wanna. I showed him because I knew y'all they gonna call me. Dan gonna call me a liar. I knew that because he done that before.
He called you a thief on the last video I saw with Cena Senior just 2 days ago.
I knew
3 days ago, whatever the fuck it was.
I knew from before when people asked me why did I stop, and I told them the truth. Dad went on and called me a liar. He made fun of me. He said stuff like, "Now who would work for $50?" That was pouring salt in the room because I done that.
You did it.
I did it. Right. Now I'm really feeling like
outrageous.
Now I'm really feeling like a fucking idiot. This guy fucked me up the ass and don't even give me a kiss. And then he gonna. I hope I didn't say nothing wrong.
Absolutely not.
No. And I said enough is enough. I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't want nothing to do with him.
Well, how does it make you feel
now
when you're on that show?
He's going out to my look. If I'm such a horrible person, if I'm so horrible, if I'm stealing from you, if I'm lying about you, why in the effing hell are you playing my tapes? When Vince McMahon get rid of somebody, he don't keep showing their matches. Why is I'm on Boston frickin' Wrestling? Why? Why you showing my tapes? Why are you selling my tapes if I'm such a horrible piece of crap? I wouldn't sell the tape of no horrible piece of crap. I wouldn't sell the tapes of a liar. I wouldn't sell the tapes of a thief. Now I'm a thief. Now he's going out to my freaking Social Security.
He ain't going
That's all I got left. Damn, what you want me to do? You want my freaking Social Security check? You want my Social Security check now? What? 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 Are you gonna take my Social Security from me? I worked 60 fucking years for that Social Security check. Are you gonna take it? And all them black ass people that support you for my Social Security check? Why? You never took a fucking bump in your life. You never did nothing for this business except for sucking like a fucking leech. I tried to ignore you, man. I left you alone. Why you can't leave me alone? What you want me to do? Come down there and beat your crippled ass into Bolivia? You cannot whoop my ass, boy. I would beat the living dog shit out of you.
Tony, take a break. We're going to take a commercial break. We're taking a commercial break.
We'll be right back, guys.
I'm sorry, brother.
No,
It's all right,
it's
bro.
good, bro. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Jimmy, I got to take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offthe-railscoffeeroasters.com. You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Star in your own success.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Nefaro. scene out of here on Indie Music TV. I want to thank the fans. They're feeling for you, Tony. They actually asked to go to commercial, which I'm sorry I couldn't get, guys. I didn't want to exploit that at all. Tony, I want to bring it down a little bit.
Wait, Marty, can I say something, please?
You can.
I want to apologize to Marty and the Pharaoh and all the fans listening. I didn't mean to do that, but y'all got to realize this been going on since January. I've been harassed, tortured, talked about, put down, humiliated for 7 months. 7 months. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and now August. We're going on the 8th month of bad-mouthing, humiliation. People at the hospital would go and tell me, I wish that guy would stop that because of my wife. It upsets her. We're afraid that your wife is going to have another stroke. She don't like people talking about you like that. This man is going to kill my wife. He's going to kill my wife. He's trying to kill my wife. What did Monica do to you, Dad? What did that woman do? She's a 79-year-old woman. She have nothing left in this world but me. You destroy me, you destroy my wife. Who gonna take care of a stroke, a woman with a stroke in the hospital, a 79-year-old? Who gonna take care of her? I'm about 2 inches from driving down there and beating the living shit out of you. But I know I'm gonna go to jail. You wanna do that to my wife? What did Monica do to you, Dad? And for all you buttholes gonna call me, well, Dad didn't do shit for me. I did for Dad. Someone told me he paid Marty Jannetty $1,200 fucking bucks, plus had to fly him in. What did he pay $20 for me to eat a meal after I worked all day? Leave it alone. When you on your little vacation in Florida, I'm busting my ass at the gym, running up in these highways, driving, doing this, trying to support my wife. We got nothing, Dad. I'm not rich. All I got in my life is my wife, my daughter, and my Social Security check. Now, I'm going to, if you go on the Marty show, Marty and Farrell show, I'm going to report you to the IRS, because I know the studio know what I pay you. Well, you told the damn truth. Why you didn't turn in my taxes 2 years ago? Why now, Dan? I didn't have to pay taxes. You didn't have to pay no taxes for me 2 years ago? No, because I was licking your fucking cripper ass. That's why. Now that I don't got off of my knees and stand up like a man. Now you want to knock me back down to my knees. And what in the hell you ever did for this business? I give anybody $1,000 right now, and I'm broke. I would send you $1 a week if I have to. I'm broke. But I make this bet. If they can name one damn thing Dan did for this business, one sacrifice he made for this business, one sacrifice. We sacrifice our family. We sacrifice our homes. I lost my first marriage. I lost my daughter for this business. Half of the guys from my era, me and Marty was talking the other day, on the East Coast. The only wrestler left on the East Coast my age is me and Tito. Bundy's gone. Slooker gone. Everybody I roll with, my partner, Rocky Johnson, we're all dead. I'm one of the last Mohican. And this leech, dog-sucking leech, want to destroy that for what? When all he had to do was move on. I moved on. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Then he texts me. I tried to ignore him. I even blocked him on my phone. Didn't work. Now he's calling my buddy Larry Huntley with threats. He told me this, Marty, and I let Marty read it. If you mention my name just one time, I got the paperwork and I'm sending it into the IRS. Now what can the IRS do to me? They could take away my Social Security check. Would that make you happy? I've been homeless one time, brother. I lived in the street, slept on the fucking park bench for a year and a half. Ate out of dumpsters. I build myself back, not with your help. Because what you pay me, I still be in the fucking dumpsters. Now, I got all the Boston wrestling fans to answer this question for me. It is 350 miles, 300 miles for me to drive from Maine to the Marty and Farrell show. You understand? Then I got to drive another 300 miles back home. It's a 2-hour drive for me to go to Boston Wrestling. Now, why, Boston Wrestling fans, would Tony Atlas drive 7 hours, sometime 8, to get to Marty and the Farrell, but won't drive 1 hour or 2 hours to get to you? Why is that? If you took such good care of me, the reason is Marty take care of me. I work for you, I take my freaking wife out to dinner one night, then I'm broke. I work for you for a meal, man. You know I'm telling the truth. You know it, Dan. I don't lie. I got no reason to. If you think I'm lying, take me to court. Put your hand on that Bible, swear oath. You know, when he told me I was lying about what he paid me, I told people what he paid me, but he had almost a year to show the fans what he paid me. He never did it. He just called me a liar.
How shocking. Okay.
Why don't he tell the people what he paid me? You tell them what you pay me, Dan. You tell them.
Tony, I would like to say my piece on this whole situation.
Piece of...
First of all, I'll say, Dan Marotti, shame on you, number one. But number two, here's the bigger problem of the issue. Tony wanted to separate the agreement. He took responsibility for his agreement.
Just go about my business.
Right.
But instead,
he won't let me go on.
Keep the game going.
He don't want to let it go.
To me, there's a reason.
He just can't let it go.
To me, there's a reason. Because now you're taking the money out of your mouth, Dan. How does that feel? How does that feel? Shame on you.
Attacking senior citizens.
Shame on you, sir.
Podfather.
One day you're going to be a senior citizen. You're going to be a senior citizen if you're lucky enough. And I hope some young punk like you will come and take your Social Security check, threaten you with the government. Just to make sure that I was not lying. I took your the one you sung, Larry Huntley, because I blocked you. I don't want to hear your crap no more. I got a wife in the hospital. I can't go around my wife upset and nervous. So then you went out to my friend Larry Huntley. That had nothing to do with it. Nothing. All he did was try to help me to teach me how to use a computer. That's all Larry Huntley ever did. Then you started attacking him.
Well, interesting enough. Hold on. Boston Wrestling has now eventually chimed in on this show. And his comment is, keep spreading your damn lies.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? He called me a liar. Everything else, I'm a liar. Then why did he stop talking to me? Have I said in it? Ask him this question. Have I said anything about you, Dan, in the last 7 months compared to what you said about me? What have I said? I've been quiet for 7 months. Have you been quiet? Is that a lie too? You ask your wrestling fan, have you been talking about me in the last 7 months? Have I been talking about you in 7 months? No. Is that a lie too? Now you're lying to your fans because they know what you said.
That's right.
Everybody know what you did, Dan. It's all the fans out there, all the Boston wrestling fans. Are y'all all liars?
Hold on. Ill America says this is a work. We're getting work like Mark's. No, this is not a work. The Marty Jannetty thing was not a work. This is real people.
Okay.
Oh boy.
As the Boston wrestling fans, are they lying too? They hear him. They hear him every week. Don't they hear it? They deaf. Is the Boston wrestling fan deaf? How many times did you hear me badmouth Dan? Name one other time other than today. Name one.
Wrestling fans are smarter than that too. Come on, guys. You know the difference.
That's what he does.
They know.
Well, here's the reality.
When you tell the truth, we call you a liar.
Here's the reality.
You know, I'll tell you, I know how to end it. I'll make a challenge to Dan Morella right now.
Go, do it.
Let's go on the Steve Warco show. All right, fan. Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
I watched that Steve.
I'll make a better challenge.
He'll set your ass
I'm going to make a better
straight, Steve
challenge.
Wilkos.
I'll make a better challenge.
Let's do a live.
I will fly Marathi into New York.
Wait a second. They don't make planes sturdy enough.
All right, hold on.
What?
We could get our own plane.
That's
I will fly Marathi here.
Our own plane.
I will bring
What?
an impartial judge.
Live detector machine.
And
That's
we
the only way
will
we're gonna
have
get
a
to the
discussion
truth. We
and
take a
let
live
the fans
detector
see
test.
what the truth is.
Live detector.
Yeah.
Take a live
all right.
detector test.
All right.
Let's do a live detector.
How do you
test.
hook them up
Then
to
we
what?
see who's what? Now, what fucking reason I got to lie about Dan?
Right.
For what?
Right.
What in it for me?
Right.
What I'm getting out of this? I just want him to leave me the fuck alone.
Imagine that.
Why is that so hard?
How about that?
Apparently
How about
it
just
is.
leave Tony alone? In
That's
fact,
it.
You wanna
I'll
try
even say
that?
this.
Could you try that?
Take Tony's videos off. Don't put
Take
them on
my
him.
videos
Don't
off.
promote
There
him.
you go.
Why you want a liar on your fucking set? Why you want to promote a liar?
Yeah.
Why you playing my video? I'm a liar. So if I'm lying about this, then every damn thing I ever say on Boston Wrestling is a liar. What Trump say? Fake news. Boston Wrestling is fake news. Because everything that is said by Tony Atlas is a lie. Everything on Boston Wrestling Tony Atlas said is a liar. If you don't believe me, ask Dan Morella. I'm a liar. Ask Dan. So why is Dan playing tapes of a liar? Don't make sense, doesn't it? It's kind of like you're taking a pedophile to a boys' camp.
Here's a question. Hold on. Here's a great
You have a
Tony.
pedophile in a daycare center. Playing tapes of a pedophile in a daycare center. Why are you playing my tapes? Take me off of Boston Wrestling. Take me off. Fans, tell Dan to take that lying-ass Tony Atlas off of Boston Wrestling.
Tony, I got two questions
He'll
for you.
never do
Questions
it.
out
That's
there.
his
Stinger
cash
one.
register.
Here's a question. Number one is, why do you talk bad about John Cena, and why do you call Marty Jannetty a racist?
Huh?
Did you call Marty Jannetty a racist
Yeah,
on the
because
show?
of what Dan told me. You saw the tape.
Interesting.
So I'm asking you.
Yeah, I said,
Interesting.
that's racist.
So
What he did is racist. Why pick on Kamala? He's dead. Why pick on Carla Camaro? Because she's the first black woman. Black people feel proud when we do something in this world.
Of course.
We were slaves for 350 years in this country. That's history. It's past, gone. A lot of people suffer in this country, not just black.
are you telling me that
Irish
Dan is
people.
telling you
Irish
what to
people.
say on these videos?
Irish people was picked on and pushed down in
Sure,
this country.
sure,
if you was
sure.
Irish, you got beaten up. If you was Oriental, you got beaten up. You worked the railroad. So black people is not the only people that got humiliated. But America went through that. We fought through that. We fixed it so every American is equal.
Are you being told what to say on these videos?
Oh, no. I'm a fucking senior citizen that been to every state in the United States, been to every country in the world but China and Korea and Russia. And I need somebody to tell me what the fuck to say. Now you calling me dumb. Whoever say that, say I'm a dumb nigger. It got to be some racist-ass white boy to think of black people that way. Why? Because I'm black, I'm stupid, and don't know what I'm talking about. Somebody got to tell this old black boy what to do? Slavery is over, my brother, whoever wrote that. I'm a 6'2", 265-pound black man that had lived more in 1 week than you had lived in your whole life. Because I'm black, somebody got to tell me what to say? Don't judge me by my color, whoever you are. I'm big and strong enough. I was the 3rd strongest man in the world. I bench pressed 650 freaking pounds. I bench press 400 pounds now, and I'm a senior citizen. And I got 22-inch fucking biceps. The only people that tell me what to do is God and my wife. Did Dan Morella tell me everything to say was on his show? So if Marty is coaching me, Dan coached me too. Because I'm too stupid to talk. So I was stupid on Boston Wrestling too. Everything I say on Boston Wrestling, Dan told me. Because I was too stupid to think for myself. Because I'm a black man. Keep your racist shit to yourself. You ask white people, do somebody tell them what to say? I'm tired of all this shit. I'm old. I don't give a shit no more. I don't know if I'm going to live next week. Everybody that I wrestle with is dead. Don't you realize that?
Oh, by the way, Boss of Wrestling Now says you'll be back. I guarantee it.
If he paid me what he paid Marty Jannetty.
Nothing wrong with that.
You give me what you give Marty Jannetty, I'll be back. I guarantee you. You give me that $1,200, you get Marty Jannetty.
What? Yeah, it's a work. Can you get any more fucking honest?
You have to fly him in, and I want you to pay for my own damn hotel. I don't want to pay my own hotel no more. You treat me like you treat them white boys, I'll be back.
And the chicken sucks, you want better fucking chicken. No, serious.
With that, we'll take a quick commercial break.
Let's go chow. See you in a sec. The fuck?
Jimmy, I just got the best hookup on tickets.
Fill me in.
I went to www.seatslinks.com and ordered the best tickets with the best prices.
Call 718-676-0504. SeatsLink, the complete ticket experience.
Tell them Charles sent you.
Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships. Oh, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Yeah, nothing much.
You know, Jimmy, I love this country.
Oh.
I love to buy Made in America material. And I love to buy my artwork at TAG, T-A-A-G, Made in America, 14 East Broadway, Port Jefferson, New York, 11717. The shop at the corner.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
You can open up with Kamala.
I am.
Now, what do you got to say now about
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty DeFaro, where we are lucky to have Hall of Famer Mr. Tony Atlas in studio. Yes, the man that overhead pressed Hulk Hogan in Madison Square Garden.
I saw that at Shea
Yes,
too.
the man who was the first African-American tag team champion,
That's right.
which we consider one of the greatest moments in pro wrestling
But most
history.
importantly, the man who was the Pharaoh's first favorite wrestler.
Yes.
The first! Holy Shea Stadium, August 9th, 1980, Batman.
That's weird.
Tony, yeah, I'm a little weird. All right, let's bring it back home to the basics now, Tone. Obviously, the theme of this interview is being taken advantage of, whether we like it or not.
By the way,
What?
I'm sorry.
You're ruining my flow!
I know.
What?
It looks like it's not the real Boston Wrestling. Someone
Who
baited me.
is it?
Someone tricked me. All right, go
That's
ahead.
great!
I've been tricked.
It wasn't him?
No.
That's hilarious. Well, you know what?
well.
Whales can't type. Whales can't type. They have fins. They can't type. Obviously, whether we like it or not, the theme has been like, pricks taking advantage of legends. So let's, can I get your opinion
I've been
on...
quiet for a long time.
apparently
This
so.
is 7 months that built up.
Apparently so.
7 months of built up, brother.
Can we get your opinion on the amazing James Harris, also known as Kamala, being taken advantage of? Can you give us some thoughts on what Kamala was put
And
through?
not by Dan Marati, by Vince McMahon. Let's
Kamala.
I didn't hear that.
How about Kamala's story about being taken advantage of? Since we're on the subject of great wrestlers being fucked over, can you tell us some thoughts on Kamala's, misfortunes in his career, being underpaid?
Unfortunately, I never seen his paycheck.
Oh shit!
I never did. I know he was doing better than me.
Okay. Was he eating any decent chicken, or I got to get back to the chicken.
I know he did good.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't travel with him. I mean, I rode with him a couple of times, overseas and stuff. But I didn't see his paycheck, so I don't know exactly what went on between him and Vince. I know in his book, he don't speak very highly of what happened to him. But I talked to Steve Labate, and Steve Labate said he saw him check. He said Kamala check was bigger than my checks. See, a lot of guys, not
Kamala's
just Kamala.
check should be bigger than the Brooklyn Brawler's check.
But see, a lot of guys, they felt they should make what Hogan made.
Right.
There was a lot of guys like that, that really felt, that would happen with me in One Man Game when he was, what that thing, One Man Game played?
Akeem?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't want to work with me when I was doing Saba Simba.
Okay.
He wanted to work with Hogan.
Okay.
So all the heels wanted to work with Hogan so to make the big paycheck. So there was a lot of guys in wrestling. There's a lot of jealous. See, when I first broke into business, the promoter taught me never tell what you make, because it makes the other guys jealous. I mean, if I tell a guy I made $1,500 a night, this guy made $500, he'd piss. Especially if he was my opponent.
I'm just curious. Were you always cool with Hulk Hogan behind the scenes? Because the beginning of his career starts with you at Shea.
I love Hogan.
Okay.
Me and Hogan been friends from day one. We rode together in Georgia when it first started. In fact, me and Tommy Wildfire Rich went to Ole Anderson and told Ole, cause at that time I beat Dennis Condrey for the belt, and they had no big heels. All the heels were getting, the heels were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They had no big heels. All the big heels had left and went to AWA or went to WWF or somewhere. So Georgia at that time, if you look at that period when I beat Dennis Condrey for the belt, they had no big heel. So when Hogan came in, Tommy Wildfire Rich said, "Boy, this is great. We should get shoot an angle with Tony Atlas and Hogan, this guy, because he's big enough to really get heat on me." Because I was in such good shape then. I was 286 pounds with a 4% body fat. So I was muscular, 286 pounds, and I was the biggest wrestler in the territory. Well, to be a babyface, you have to get the people's sympathy. So when I couldn't sell for nobody because it didn't look right. I was bigger than the guy, so it was kind of like Mark Henry wrestling Hogswallow or something, and Mark Henry is flying all over the ring for Hogswallow. To the fan, that don't look right. So Tommy Rich tried to get Hogan, and then what Ole Anderson said This guy will never draw any money in this business. Then my only answer exact words about Hulk Hogan. This guy will never make anybody money in this business. Then one time I was going to wrestle him in Madison Square Garden.
Right,
God
right.
rest his soul. I loved him like a father. He treated me like a son. I'm not bad-mouthing him. I was going to wrestle Hulk Hogan in the garden. Vince Sr. was running things then. Vince Jr. was an announcer. Vince Sr. said, what you want to do with the big dummy?
The big dummy?
They never got interested in Hogan. The people that made Hulk Hogan was Sylvester Stallone. When Hogan got in that movie, that what did it. If you look back, I mean, every time Hogan wrestled me, he put me over. Hogan put me over every time I wrestled him. They wasn't pushing Hogan. They had no use for this guy, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah, think about it. Everybody beat Hogan until he got in that movie. Then he went back to
AWA, right, with Vern.
With Vern.
Yeah.
And Vern gave Hogan his first break. Vern Gagne gave Hogan his first break in this business. And then I was in the dressing room and said, we got to get him back. He's selling out everything in Minneapolis. He's selling everything out. Everywhere Hogan went out that movie was a sellout. Sellout.
Yeah.
Then they brought him back. And he sold out everything in the WWE. So everything that the WWE got, everything Triple H got, everything Vince McMahon got, everything John Cena got, everything Tony Atlas had, everything that all the wrestlers today got, they owe to Hulk Hogan. Hogan do not owe this business nothing. I was there, brother. I was there when it frickin' took off. I mean, I was working underneath preliminary, making $8,000 a week. And I wasn't even one of the top guys. Hogan made so many people. Hogan built WWE. I don't give a crap ass what anybody say. They should treat that man with the utmost fucking respect. There would be nobody could have done it but Hogan.
Right.
Nobody could have done it. They had Jimmy Snuka. They had all these people. They had all these people.
Tony Smith is asking out there, can you tell the story about the time Harley Race almost bit your nipples off?
What?
True.
True?
True.
Would you put whipped cream and strawberries on them? Why would he want to bite your nipples off?
I got a hair up my butt.
You got what?
I got cocky in the ring.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I want to show Harley how tough I was.
Oh, that was a mistake. What are you doing?
So I headlocked him and took him over. Harley said, loosen up.
Oh.
I said, I'll do what I want. Harley took and put my nipper in his mouth and ground it around like this in his teeth. He said, if I bite off your nipper, you can't win no more of them bodybuilding contests now, can't you? He said, if you don't straighten up out here, he said, I will bite off your nipper and knock your ass out. Now do what I tell you to do.
Wow.
I go, yes, sir, Mr. Race.
This is between headlocks, huh?
Well,
Wow.
I forgot who I was in the ring with.
Yeah, I think
got
so.
beside myself. I got cocky with Harley in the ring. And then he did a couple of things, took me down on the mat, put me where it's called a sugar hole, made me squirm like a little
puppy dog.
A little puppy dog.
Okay.
And then I came to my senses. I said, Tony, I don't care how many muscles you got. Harley Race is not somebody you need to mess with.
Hell yeah.
And that was the favorite bit, Harley.
Yeah. And he's a southpaw.
and I respect him because he showed me that even though I was bigger and stronger,
right,
I couldn't whoop him.
Right. What makes that in a man, by the way? What was that
Ego.
hidden?
I was ego. I mean, see, the name of my book is Too Much Too Soon.
No, how about Harley? What makes that in a man who doesn't look super jacked, but you better watch out for him?
He was raised in the streets.
Okay.
Raised up rough. He didn't come from a rich family. He was raised in the street. He was a street fighter.
Okay.
He was just rugged. Just a rugged man, you know. But the nicest person that you ever want to meet in your life.
Right.
But he was just somebody you just want to fight with. Just
Tony,
don't fight him. You all right with Harley.
I want to bring you out of
yeah.
the wrestling world for a minute. In New York, Governor Cuomo was relieved of duty for sexual, I guess we're going to call it sexual harassment.
Yeah, to some degree, obviously. He's
being as
the
famous,
governor is gone.
So being as famous as you are, and being in certain situations I'm assuming you've been in, have you ever had that issue with being accused of kind of a sexual harassment deal?
Like a psycho groupie that goes to, like, with the bullshit charges just because she's mad you didn't, like, plow her or something. Back in the day.
Because you didn't plow her. That's a hell of a question.
Well, there's psychos out there, these ring rats. They get mad.
Wow.
Go on. Wow. I'm just curious if he got cornered by a psycho.
Now, I have said this before. Many a time.
Okay.
Before all this Cuomo, Bill Cosby, all this stuff came up. My mom told me something a long time ago that shocked me. She said there only been 2 people in America that were slaves. A black man and a white woman.
Whoa. Interesting.
That's what she said.
Dang.
Women have been suppressed. One time I talked to China. It was in Rocky was wrestling as Rocky Maivia. And y'all probably see it. I went on Monday Night Raw with The Rock. That's when Rocky Johnson, the father, jumped into the ring. And they had the match with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart that year.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Sure do.
And
sure do.
I saw China. China at that time was not married to, Triple H was not married to Stephanie then. He was dating China.
Of course.
When Triple H and China was together. So I saw China at the lunchroom. I walked up to her and I said, wow, you look great. You look fantastic. You must have worked very hard to get yourself in that type of shape.
Oh, what a specimen. Yes.
She started crying.
Did she?
She started crying. So I turned it on her, scolding. I said, what the hell did I say wrong? Scolding said, that was the nicest thing anybody ever said to her since she been here. I was wrestling in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And they're going to have a big thing. They brought in Andre the Giant, Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk, a bunch of big-name guys.
What a territory that
was. They all flew in.
Okay.
They all flew in. All got picked up at the airport. All got treated like king. Moolah was the world woman champion.
Sure.
She drove.
She drove.
And paid for her own room.
Who was her agent? Dan Marotti?
I had to. Bury him.
I had to. Yeah. I'm sorry.
On,
all right, Tony, I'll take you out. This one's on me. It's on me.
Good now. Don't. Yeah.
Okay.
You messed up a wet dream. But anyway.
Holy lipstick. Okay.
I said what I had to say. And no more than need to be said.
Absolutely. All right, let's get back to Moolah. So Moolah's getting hosed here.
People know what I got to say. I can't say any more about him.
There you go.
That's it. If you don't believe me, don't believe me.
Yeah.
Don't.
So Moolah's driving. Moolah's fucking driving.
And I saw that.
Wow.
I saw Renee Richter when she was world champion. She rode with me.
Right.
She didn't get taken care of.
Right.
I saw this.
Right.
This is the first time, and I'm very proud of the WWE. This is the first time in wrestling history
that finally
that women is getting a break in the world of professional wrestling.
Sure.
We are not used to having women in authoritarian positions.
Sure.
Not to get into politics. President Obama was president of the United States when Benghazi happened. They didn't go out to Obama. They went out to Hillary.
Right.
She's a woman.
Right. I got to get this in there. I'm sorry. Rick Howard says Dan always claims to be broke, but then brags about his trips to Florida.
Yeah, which is it?
Just throwing that out there.
Which the fuck is it?
Hate to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, we as Americans have to learn how to treat women with the same respect that we treat each other. I worked at a gym in Lewis, Maine, the Gold's Gym, when it first started. There was a woman that ran the gym. She would go back in the back and tell guys to, pick up your weights, don't use bad language, stuff like that,
Yeah.
It's a gym.
Right.
They would call her the B word. So she stopped telling the guy, and she told him nicely. So her husband came back, and he wasn't nice. They did what he said, and then they say, well, he shoot for the hip. He's a straight shooter.
Oh, I see.
So we have always looked at women as sex objects. Well, even on TV now. Even now.
Of course.
Look at all the newscasts. I mean, if you're not gorgeous, you can't work on TV. Look at all. I asked my wife one time. I said, "What do you think of American TV?" She said, "A lot of beautiful women, a lot of ugly guys." You could be an ugly guy and be successful in this country, but you can't be successful if you're an ugly woman. If you're a fat woman, look at WWE. I had a girl named Amanda Storm, one of the most powerful women. She could do 1,000 pounds on a leg press for 10 reps. She could take 250 pounds and put over here. One of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Never got a break. She called the WWE. They told her she had to get fake ticks. A woman, even now, had to dress like a prostitute. They look like prostitute. I hate to say it. Think about what the guy they were pushing the other night. I see a lot of wrestlers that is ugly. A lot of ugly men wrestlers. You don't see no ugly women wrestlers.
Right.
Look at the newscaster. Look at Fox News.
Bro,
MSC.
with all due respect, we grew up on ugly women wrestling.
That's true compared to the chicks
stop.
today. What are you going to tell me? Velvet McIntyre's toes are hot? I don't want to look at Velvet McIntyre's toes.
Yeah, but what I'm saying.
And your friend Lalani Kai? Your good friend Lalani Kai?
Yeah,
wow,
see,
what a knockout.
Marty,
Please knock me
Marty,
out.
what you forgetting, when a woman wrestler, there was novelty.
Right, true.
We didn't have to look at them every day.
True, that's very true back in the day.
They
Very
used
true.
them once, and then they left and went somewhere
They
else.
were almost treated the same way Sky Lolo and his boys were.
Exactly, the midgets were the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you go on any independent show, you see a bunch of guys. You don't see women wrestle. There were a lot of women is not working independent. Most women quit because they can't get booked. You go to any independent show, all the people out here know I'm telling the truth. Very rarely you see a woman wrestling match.
This is true. No,
the only
this
time
is
you
true.
see a woman wrestling match is on TV.
It is true.
This is all brand new. With women are getting the same opportunity.
You gotta be
in
pleased.
the wrestling world as guys do. I've been saying this for the last 20, 30 years.
Sure.
People hear me say this 30 years ago. Women have never got the same opportunity in this business as men did. Never.
Well, you got to be pleased with what they're doing
So
now.
getting back to what you said, I think Chroma and a lot of these guys are built up frustration for years and years of neglect and abuse by us guys.
Fair enough.
Words of knowledge.
Remember, they went
Fair
after
enough.
Trump too.
Words of knowledge.
Fair
bro.
Oh, yeah,
enough.
think about all the guys that they went after. You know, it was like the straw they broke the camel back. And now they got the opportunity to fight back, so they're fighting back.
Yeah,
But it didn't start with Coma. We want to put all of it on him. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But this been going on for a lot of time. And then we turned a blind eye to. I remember one time back in the 70s, this woman went to a bar, and she was raped by a bunch of guys, gang rape.
Okay.
I remember this. I
Okay.
think it was in the 70s or 80s. If somebody out here could probably correct me on it. I can't remember the year. When she went to court, the guys got off. The reason is
I remember
she
this.
would die because she was dressing provocative.
Right. She had some
and then
nerve
because
wearing
the
clothes
way,
that day
right, because
that she chose.
Exactly.
to wear.
Because of the way she was dressed,
This is
it was okay to rape her because she had
Right.
short shorts on.
Understood.
She
I
had
do
Daisy
remember.
Dukes on, or miniskirt.
They used
So
it
if
to
you
angle-
wear a
right.
miniskirt, I got the right to rape you.
Right. They used it as an
When I
angle
was a
towards
kid, every other woman that I
credibility.
saw in the black neighborhood, every other woman in the black neighborhood I knew had a black eye. If you didn't beat your wife, you was not a man. And this is in the 70s.
Ouch.
So now, I'm telling you, now what is happening to us guys, women have gotten tired of our shit, to be honest with you.
Tony, forgive me for this question then. Forgive me for this question because I think I know the answer, but I'm just going to ask it anyway because this is what Monty and the Pharaoh do. Have you ever hit a woman?
Never. My dad used to beat my mom. My dad used to beat my mom. And so I grew up, I can't take that. I can't stand, even if I saw you hit your wife, my daughter, I would not spank her because my ex-wife said, you just want me to be the bad guy. I said, no. I said, a father is the first love in a young girl's life. And if she accepts being hit by me, and with the same breath I'm telling her I love her, she would accept it from other men. You know? Because if I hit my daughter when she was a baby, then when her husband hit her, she think that how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Women have been abused in this. We don't want to admit it. Women have been abused in this country. Spousal abuse is rampant. Rape is rampant. 90% of females live in fear. There's sexual assault going on right now with these women. What is happening? They fighting back. Unfortunately for your governor here, he's the whooping post for all the abuse that have went on with women. When OJ, not even the police do things about it sometimes. And I love the police. I'm a strong supporter of policemen. I don't believe in defunding the police. I don't believe in redoing nothing with the police. They got a very hard job. I know a lot of them. A lot of them are good friends. They work their ass off. They don't get no respect. If the black community would work with the police, things would improve in the black neighborhood. But when I grew up, if I worked with the police, I would call a stooge a sledge. This guy just killed my cousin, but I can't report it to the police because the neighborhood will look down on him. So most of the problem that's going on between policemen and black people is black people's fault. Work with the police. Police is not there to hurt black people. Well, why they shoot black people? Why he running? Why he resisting? I'm going to tell you why black people get shot by policemen. You create a dangerous environment. That cop know what's going on in that neighborhood. If you go swimming in a public swimming pool and people is splashing and making noise around you, you don't get nervous. Even though you're in the water, splashing going on, you hear noise, you don't get nervous because you're in a public swimming pool. That's your environment. But if you in the bayou in the swamp in Louisiana and something moving in that water, you're going to get nervous. Now, how you think for policemen to go into a neighborhood where a grandmother gets shot sitting in her house watching TV? Go into a neighborhood where everybody got guns. Go into a neighborhood where 90% of black homicide is done by black people. Go into a neighborhood where 75% of black kids grow up without a father. 75% grow up without a father. Go into a neighborhood with a population that make up 12.9% of American population, but also make up 60% of penitentiary. Go into a neighborhood where black-on-black crime is the highest crime rate in America. How do you feel being a suburban policeman being faced with that for the first time in your life?
With that, we're going to take a quick break.
My mother said, never judge a man. Now, I have seen some stuff that was uncalled for. Like the murder of George Floyd. That was totally uncalled for.
We're going to get back to that. Let's take a quick commercial break. Let's reel you in. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll get into
people going to hate me, I know this.
No, we'll be right back.
We shall return, folks.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty Nefaro, on a special Saturday show with Mr. USA Hall of Famer Tony Atlas. Tony, a lot of fans out there saying, preach, brother, incredible human being. We know what incredible human being you are. We're in the last leg. with the great Mr. Tony Alice.
All right, let's continue. Tony,
Marty, I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to say that because I love my people.
Go ahead.
hit it.
We live in America. I was riding with Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch, which all the rest I knew was a member of the KKK. But he was one of my best friends. How can you be friends with a Klansman? I say, every American is entitled, you are entitled as an American to your belief. That's why we fought for our freedom. Political correctness is for whites only. For whites only. Political correctness, which is wrong. If using the N-word, if you're going to crucify a white person for using the N-word, you should crucify a black person for using it too. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. It's either wrong or it's right. You confusing the hell out of people. If a white person get in trouble for using the N-word, the black person get in trouble for it too. We have to make a law that fit all Americans, not just some. There's no Republican, no Democrats, no blacks, no white, no Oriental, no Spanish. We all should be Americans. And as an American, being a black American, I'm going to say what a lot of us old black Americans be wanting to say. Nobody could help the black neighborhood but the black man. I asked Murdoch, getting back to Murdoch, why would you call a full-grown black man a boy? He said, oh, that's simple, Tony. A boy don't have responsibility. 75% of black kids grow up without a father. I wrote a book, Too Much Too Soon. Before I was 12 years old, I've been in over 50 fistfights. Black kids have to protect themselves. Their mother's at work. So the only way for a black kid to protect himself, he got to get a Glock. He don't have a father. He can't depend on the police because he become a pariah in his neighborhood. So he don't have the police to protect him. He don't have a father, and his mother can't. That leave that kid, he said, I need protection. So he joined the gangs. So the gangs become the family. The street become his home. White people didn't cause that. Republicans didn't cause that. Democrats didn't cause that. America didn't cause that. It's boys in men's bodies. If you got a child, and you're not responsible to help raise that child and teach that child and help that child to go in life, you're a boy. If you don't accept the responsibility of a man. Now, my daughter grew up without a father. I'll admit it. I'm not all that great and powerful. My daughter grew up without a father. But I tried to be there for her. Me and her got a good relationship now. I never left her. Me and her mom, you know, we didn't get along, but I was always there for my daughter. Her name is Nikki. She lived in Opelika, Alabama. She forgave me, which thank God, for my absence, but I was drugged out. But as soon as I came off the drug, my wife Monica, God bless her soul, she said, you need to resume your relationship and take responsibility to help raise your daughter. You can't walk away from your daughter the way your father walked away from you. My mother had 9 kids. My dad didn't do nothing for none of us. He was a boy. A boy do not have responsibility. The only thing They're going to help the black community. Al Sharpton, all the rest of y'all. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. Y'all want to blame white people. They don't. Well, I remember when I was a kid, I was going to work one day. A guy said, ain't no use going to work. The white man don't want you to go nowhere. My mom said, boy, don't listen to him. White people want all black men to go to work so they don't have to take care of them. Who's taking care of black kids? Middle class America. The guy would get him a young girl, impregnate her. Then he move in with her. The government pay for the apartment. The government pay for the food. So in most black families, at least 75% of it, 75%, a 1-year-old child is supporting the adults. Because without that kid, they can't make it. The kids are responsible for the grown-ups because the man won't work. Now, y'all probably get kicked off of YouTube for that, but when I first started in wrestling, it used to be a joke I used to hear all the time. I didn't like it. But then, like Dan Morella, I started thinking about it. I'm a slow learner, remember? There was a joke they was telling in the dressing room, and most of the old time in the 70s, there's 3 things you can't give a black guy: a black eye, a fat lip, and a job. Now, most of us got thick lips. And, of course, we got black eyes because we're black. But the part that stuck to me the most was a job. If you think I'm lying, drive through any black neighborhood. See what the young black men are doing. But they want to call themselves a man. How can you be a man when you walk away from your responsibility that every man has? What is missing in the black neighborhood is a breakdown in the family. And it's not just black. 75% of black kids grow up without a father. 50% of Spanish kids grow up without a father. But among Caucasian, only 30%. So in other words, to get married, if a young woman wants to get married, to marry a white guy, you got a 70% chance of having a successful marriage and a 30% chance of having a bad marriage. If you're Spanish and you marry a Spanish guy, you have a 50-50 chance of a successful marriage and an unsuccessful marriage. If you black, you have a 75% chance of having an unsuccessful marriage and a 25% chance of having a successful marriage. We all have to take responsibility. I wrote in my book, people say, well, did Vince do this to you? What about Saba Simba? Was that racist? Was Vince racist? No, Vince ain't racist. Hulk Hogan ain't racist. No. He gave me an opportunity. I fucked up. Vince had a chart. Vince and me are friends. I love him to death, like a brother. I love Vince. Love the whole McMahon family. They did nothing but help me. I've been hired and fired more times than any wrestler I've been there. Most times they got rid of somebody, they gone. Vince kept bringing me back. In fact, he just brought me back recently to do Legend House. Is I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So Vince always had, even though he couldn't use me. Mm-hmm. When me and Mark Henry broke up, Vince could have shit-canned me. Vince started saying, well, we got to find something for Tony to do. That sound like a racist dude? The man likes me. I like Vince. We know how we feel, but business is business. He got a business to run. You know, he can't sacrifice his business for his friend. Me and Vince are friends. He's a great guy. Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan built that empire. I love Vince. And I would fight anybody that goes against him. Screw them. They don't know the man like I knew him. I've been knowing Vince since 1978, so I know him well good. Getting back to what I was saying.
Well, Tony, my book, I got to reel you in.
All right,
because we're down to our last 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm done.
I got to get to Pharaoh's final question in.
Okay, I got to say this. Fred. In my book, I put my success in life I owe to thousands and thousands of people. My success. My failure in life I owe to me, for I am the captain of my own ship. Okay, now I'm going to shut up.
All right.
I threw wine everywhere, people. Marty gonna kick my butt. I'm not,
It's wine all over the studio.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
That freaking damn Morella.
I'm glad you got to get your mo shot. Anyway, this has been a great show.
Boy, I threw that shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, it's everywhere.
I'll be on my hands and knees cleaning the studio. So
I'm gonna help you.
No, you just eat the pizza.
I did it. My mother said, clean up your mess. Leave things the way you found them.
Mom was wise.
Pharaoh's final question. This is where our own Jimmy Farrow goes in his brain, comes up with a final question. We finish off with this question, Mr. Atlas. Have at it there, Jimmy.
Tony, you are obviously one of my favorite wrestlers ever since I was a kid. But recently we lost a wrestler who, oddly enough, and you guys couldn't be more different in the ring, was also one of my favorites as I grew older. Can you tell me your thoughts on it? I understand that things weren't always smooth in life with this, but I respect and love both of you guys. Can you tell me what you feel about New Jack's passing?
Sad.
Okay.
New Jack says some things. I talked to him about it. I was not pleased with what he's saying, but I feel very sad for the player because he left here and we never had a chance to mend. I've been sad about a lot of stuff. One of the things that I'm really, really sad about that nobody talk about is Brian Blair. His son was murdered. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it feels like to bury a child. So my condolences go out to New Jack family. My condolences go out to Brian Blair. Because, I mean, to bury your child. Yeah. And he got to live with that, you know. New Jack.
Understood.
New Jack did what New Jack did to make New Jack famous, to make him a living. So he attacked a lot of people. The problem I had with New Jack when he got into the Bruiser Brody thing, that thing touched me personally. I didn't care about him calling me a punk, calling me a fag, calling me names. That didn't bother me. But then we talk about the Brody situation. That got under my skin. Brody was my very good friend. I know his wife. And his son said something, Brody's son said something on the dark side of the ring that just, sometimes I wake up in the night and sweating. Everybody got a Bruiser Brody story but me. That's what I hear Brody's son say. And them words,
wow.
Them words just stick with me.
Wow.
Everybody know a Bruiser Brody story but me.
But his own child. Yeah.
His child never got to know him. Mm-hmm. Mm. Brian Blair got to know his child, got to love his child, got to hug his child. Another thing that I want to say, too, to Steve Kern. I never knew this, that people don't know. Steve Kern's father was a prisoner of war in 2 wars, World War II and Vietnam. He was a prisoner of war. Mm-hmm. He was one of the greatest American heroes this country ever did. And Steve Kern is the man that taught me how to drop kick. When he told his story at the gallery, I nearly cried. Jimmy Crockett, Davy Crockett, I want to thank them. They went to Roanoke, dust me off, took me in, put up with my crap, and made me what I am today. George Scott. I have so many people that had did so much for me that I'll be here all day to tell you all the wonderful things that people in this business have done for me. And I feel shame in myself because little by little I let these people down. I let the Crockett down. They forgave me. I let Vince McMahon down. He forgave me. I let Vern Gagne down. He forgave me. I was always forgiven. Now, I want to say, for all those that I have hurt, that put faith in me, my daughter, my wife, my ex-wife, promoters, I'm sorry. Because y'all put so much into me. Y'all worked so hard to help me. I remember Chief J. Strongboat told me one time when I was on top of the world, said the only person who could beat Tony Atlas is Tony Atlas. So when things go bad in your life, don't look for somebody to blame. It's an old saying, if it's not broke, why fix it? If you don't see nothing wrong with yourself, you're not going to fix yourself. It's easy to blame somebody else. The politician really get me. A guy been in politics for 40 years, and he talk about how bad things is. I would think to myself, being an old country boy, well, don't you work there? They talk like they running for office. They there. You've been there for 30, 40 years. You ain't did nothing to fix this problem. And now y'all here fussing about somebody else not fixing it. We had problems at the borders without back in Clinton. The border problems ain't something that just popped up with Trump or popped up with Biden. They've been going on for years. They don't want to fix it. Fix it. Get together. Stop fighting each other. Fix it. Stop campaigning. For once, politicians, stop freaking campaigning to all they think about holding their job. And I believe in voting. Here's the reason why. My mother couldn't vote with segregation. I'm the first generation of my family that was able to vote. So stop criticizing each other. Stop blaming. I don't blame anybody for my failure. I don't blame nobody for my drug use, for me losing my career. I blame nobody but Tony Atlas. One guy asked me one time, said, who was your worst, your biggest, your toughest opponent? That's easy to answer. Tony Atlas.
Wow.
I was my biggest opponent. We always look for somebody else to take the blame for decisions we make in life. And we raise up that way. If I get pissed off at Marty, the first thing I can say, Marty, you made me mad. No, you didn't. When a situation happened, you got two ways to look at it. The glass half full, the glass half empty. You can take responsibility for your participation in what you did. You got a brain. My mother said, use your head for more than just a hat rack.
Nice.
You can say no. I asked my wife, I said, you ever did drugs? She said, no. When I was in New York, they tried to get me to do it. I told them, no. Nobody made Tony Atlas use drugs. I'm a full-grown man. I make my own decision. If Marty said, Tony, let's go rob a bank, I have to agree to it. I hear another thing people say, he got me pregnant. Oh, he did? How you do that? Without your participation. How? You tell me. I like to learn that one.
That's a good trick.
He made me pregnant.
Oh, boy.
Or she got pregnant. She got pregnant. Oh, how she did that?
All right, listen, Tony.
Okay, I know I could go on and on and on.
We could go on forever. The fans
gold.
loved it.
It's gold.
You're gold.
Pure
I hope
gold.
something positive comes out of this interview.
Yes, please.
That's our ultimate goal here. And
You want something positive?
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell my story, and then I will be done.
Okay.
It's going to take about a minute and a half.
All right, Matt's got you on a time.
You got me, Matt?
Dial.
You ready? Yeah. All right. All right. Now I'm going to tell my life story all in a minute and a half.
No. And go.
Born in the lost of the desert, my mother died, giving me life, deprived of the love of a father, blamed for the loss of his wife. You know, Lord, I've been to prison for something that I never done. It been one hill after another, but I climbed them all one by one. But this time, Lord, you gave me a mountain I may never climb, and it isn't a hill any longer. You gave me a mountain this time. My woman tired of the heartbreaks, tired of the hurt and the pain, tired of working for nothing, tired of being my wife. She took my one greatest sunshine. She took my pride and my joy. She took my reason for living. She took my small baby boy. But this time, Lord, you gave gave me a mountain I may never climb, and it isn't a hill any longer. You gave me a mountain this time. My mother hear me do that one day.
Nice job.
My mother hear me sing one day, and she said when she was a kid, she used to wish that she could sing. But she said since she have to listen to me, she wish I could sing.
With that, we want to thank Mr. USA Hall of Famer Tony Atlas. You've been watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and Farrow. Catch us on the Monty and Farrow YouTube page, the Monty and Farrow Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Channel 115, New York Cable, which is going to probably take about 4 episodes to get through.
Oh, hey, Bart, I'm coming.
So the early risers, 6:30 to 7 a.m. And then on Channel 20 is 2 a.m. to 2:30.
You play with your own ding-a-ling.
We are honored to have so
just
many
going
fans
nuts now,
watching
folks.
tonight, taking your time on the weekend to spend your time with Long Island's #1 pro wrestler and broadcast. Jimmy Farrow, any parting words?
Other than Tony Atlas kicks irreversible ass, you've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh. Until next Thursday, brother. Later.
I did it my way.
You sure did.